Hello, everybody. Welcome to this afternoon's Season 3 of the Advanced or ALTTPR League. My name is Arusta, and my co-commentator today is JP, also known as Brewers fan JP. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Gonna be looking forward to watching this one. This is another race in my division, so I'm actually looking forward to scouting these guys a little bit for the upcoming weeks.
For those of you who previous race, it was very close. Old Swagga Jackson, as you can see, they've got 3 points. It was Qirn and Walther the fourth had won, and it was about a 1 minute difference. So we should be seeing a really close race here today.
Yeah, I believe I don't forget which two of them tied, but technically two of these runners tied yesterday. But of course, it being team week, the other runners basically were the determining factor. And there's Walther in chat saying that was Qirn and Werf that tied. Walther is the third member of Old Swagga Jackson, which has Qirn and Marcnificent. And then Tam, who's also in chat, is the third member of Did You Check Your Boot with werfjig and Revenant. Alright, we are underway. Shield and 10 arrows to start. So, always interesting to watch the openings. Usually the runners have their openings set. They know what they want to do, and the first few minutes will be pretty much the same almost all the time. And it's after that, as they start to get items, we'll start to see them have to decide how they want to route.
Yeah, absolutely. If this happens to be one of the first races you're watching this week, the trick this week is it is co-op info share all dungeons. So each of the two runners, werfjig and RampantRevenant, and then Qirn and Marcnificent, they are each on their own Discord call. So, Qirn would be saying, hey, this is what I found here. Marcnificent would be hearing and then responding. Same thing on Did You Check Your Boots side.
Yeah. Qirn's doing the Houlihan starts, which is actually a good start in this mode. Because since you're not going to be opening as many chests, you're not going to get as much money. And so the Houlihan start can give you some money to get going in the seed. And also lets Qirn do this, go buy some bombs and do the Eastern checks early. We saw a cape on the island. Can't get to that for a while, but might not need it.
Yeah, meanwhile, on Revenant's side, just picking up a glove from the mushroom spot in Lost Woods.
Good early find. There's Samari at the race game. Actually, Qirn's going to South Shore. Not going to go to Eastern just yet.
Yeah, but with those 10 bombs, we'll be able to do mini Moldorm Cave and play it all the way out to Ice Rod Cave, should he choose.
Alright, so let's see. We got found a moon pearl in the well. Pretty empty mini Moldorm cave, though.
Did werfjig check the back of the? Oh, nope. Revenant's out of bombs, so we'll either need to go back and get that back of the well, or see what werfjig finds there.
And most likely werfjig will check it, since he's gotta go down there for the moon pearl anyway. Qirn's gonna give us a check of the Ice Rod Cave. Find a sword in Blind's hut. As well as looks like a good chunk of money in there too. Oh, and mirror in Blind's hut as well. Oh, what? Have we already found both gloves and I just didn't notice it? Looks like Revenant's marked with mitts already. Tam is confirming in chat. Yeah, Dark World access in Kakariko.
It's going to be interesting. You would have to guess with Mitz and Mir, at least one of them is going to go straight to Village here. Get all those checks while they're right here.
Yeah, with the sword, you could choose to dive Thieves Town right away. It's not a pleasant clear, and you might leave an item behind without the hammer, but you could do it. Looks like Qirn is going to do the escape now, as Mark is continuing his checks. We got Mark up now. There was the other glove. Okay, so we had a glove in Blindside and a glove in the Lost Woods. So that is good and bad for co-op. It's good because it opens up your locations early, gives you a lot you can do. I mean, with a glove and a mirror, you could even go up Death Mountain if you really wanted to. But it's also kind of terrifying because when you get seeds this open, you start to worry that if your opponent roughs this a little bit nicer, you could be in trouble.
Definitely, and especially in the Invitational League, all these runners are very experienced top runners, so it's got to be one of those things that just sticks on you of, you know, if I route this wrong, this could definitely hurt us.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's a good and bad. At least they'll both runners on each side will have plenty to do, so you won't have to worry about going over each other's footsteps as much. Yeah, we got 4 different. Every runner's in a different spot right now.
Flippers and C-shaped house, that's nice to have.
Qirn finds a boomerang in the escape in its actual normal chest. Revenant's making the dive into Thieves Town. 3 hearts with fighter sword. There's our Dark World map. Check pendants, Turtle Rock pendant, Skullwoods, and pendant Ice Palace. Looks like Turtle Rock was the green pendants. First look at that, we could have a fire rod that's going to be very tough to find.
Yeah, and it is worth noting, one of the things about this mode is that the pendant required items, if it's only needed for a pendant and not for unlocking GT, such items can be in GT.
Exactly. So, with the dungeon selection they've got, there's actually quite a few items that could be in GT. You could have a fire rod, you could have a medallion for Turtle Rock at least. I mean, I guess actually those are actually the 2 big things that could be there. It looks like Revenant was just going to check the front 4. Not going to go into the back just yet. Or, nope, he just wanted a health refill. He's going for the back.
Yeah, with only 1 heart, he was in one-hit KO mode the entire time, so getting the free health refill makes some sense.
Well, unfortunately, with only 3 hearts, this Thieves Town is almost kind of one-hit KO mode. About everything in here does 2 hearts of damage. And even the stuff that doesn't do 2 hearts does 1 heart, so you can take 1 hit. That's about it.
While on Marcnificent's side, showing us Skull Woods, I believe found a full heart thus far, but still 1 item in here.
Okay. So I got werfjig taking the smith, and as Revenant continues through Thieves Town, we get the smith chain in. Our smith check, just 10 arrows.
Yeah, and right now we're going to see Qirn doing all these overworld checks, picking up his gloves and his moon pearl. We'll see where he decides to go from there.
I'm guessing one member of their team will dip Thieves Town as well. So far, though, Thieves Town hasn't seemed to really turn up much.
Yeah, it looks like Mark is going to show us the inside of the middle of Skull Woods here.
It looks like Revenant did find Ether in the Maiden Cell. So I haven't been tracking items on Revenant's side to see if there's going to be an item in that big chest or not. He's about to take on Blind with 3 hearts and Fighter Sword. Now, any sword is good against Blind, but still, this is a scary fight with 3 hearts. But he has Burna too, which is good. He's got some magic with Burna, so that'll give him some safety.
Yeah, and with 3 hearts, he can take 1 hit before dying, so...
Yeah, he pulls out that cane. Gonna play it safe to finish Blind. Blind goes down. He'll have his first crystal.
Meanwhile, on Marcnificent's side, picking up the second item in Skull Woods, just a full heart. So Skull Woods has nothing. They'll just come back there when they have their fire rod to finish it.
I think we still might have an item in Thieves Town. We'll have to see if Worf decides to hold off on that. Especially, I think the only thing they found in there was Ether, which we don't even know if is required yet. Worf, I think, is gonna make the dip into Swamp.
Without Hammer, he can get 1 item, just 1 item, but...
Yeah, it's... I kind of like to play in co-op. I don't necessarily like it as much in a solo race, but in co-op it makes some sense to do this.
Yeah, and if there's something here, that could be a huge advantage, because that's a play that a lot of people would probably put off for a while.
Alright, so we got Worf going in as Revenant's exploring Skull Woods. Oh, that might have also been their dam check too, so that makes a lot of sense to do this, combine them. But nothing in that first chest of Swamp, so works out. No, it's like Mark is also being smart and combining the Graveyard Ledge check with the back of Escape check.
Yeah, and it is worth noting Qirn has already done the front of Escape, so their team will basically have Escape fully out of done, and then I believe Boot hasn't checked Escape at all.
We've got Worf checking Hype Cave, and that is a book in Hype Cave. Nice placement of the book. I would expect to see Worf go straight left, check Bombos, and then maybe dip into deserts. Or maybe not. Actually, I don't think their team has done any South Shore checks. So this is
No,
really
they went straight north, and straight to the villages.
Yeah, this is definitely pretty efficient checks by... Did you check your boot right now?
Yeah, and they also have flippers, so they will be able to check presuming werfjig finds even a little bit of money, which I think he will, we'll be able to check the entire Zora area as well.
Yeah, he does have enough money here, so yeah, Zora area actually now seems a little nicer because you've got 5 checks you can do between Hobo and the Zora area. Though if you wanted to route it with Catfish, which actually Revenant might do instead. Now I look at it, Revenant is on his way to Catfish, so he's going to check Zora area. And Werf is going to go pick up the Cape.
Marcnificent about to give us our first view of Death Mountain here. Also, hello to our new viewers from the SpeedGaming France channel. Welcome to all of you. This is a Link to the Past Randomizer League between Did You Check Your Boot and Old Swagga Jackson, a co-op info share race.
Revenant found the powder on Catfish. Not necessarily required. Only was one spot, but it is a very excellent safety to find. I'm a little surprised he didn't go and just check Zora while he's up there, but I guess that's what Werf's going to do right now. Revenant just reversed course.
Thus far, Marcnificent's play to Death Mountain has not been super productive. Just finding money and some hearts around. But
Okay,
with that big key, we'll be able to go up and play this out all the way to Moldorm, should he choose, which looks like he is.
Okay, Revenant just went and bought a potion. That makes a lot of sense. He's going to go to Pod. He bought the potion just in case he needs to potion glitch to get through the right side. While werfjig checking the Zora area, see a heart container on the ledge. He might pick that up. Especially without a meal upgrade, I expect him to.
There's that second item in Hera, also garbage, so Marcnificent just going to finish off and should be getting our first first pendant on their side in just a minute.
Okay, there's the bow. And Werf relays that to Revenant, and Revenant saves and quits at the exact same time. That's the fun of co-op. It's like you watch one of these runners heading somewhere, the other runner finds something good, and then you see it related to his partner, and all of a sudden he just changes route.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it makes so much sense because you get that bow, you can combo in Pod and Eastern and finish both them off.
Total sense to do that. That exact reason. And plus, since there's 300 rupees in the waterfall, he's got the money for it easily available.
Meanwhile, Qirn has been showing us some of the overworld checks in the South Dark World. Not really much thus far that we haven't seen yet.
So the only reason I kind of don't like what Revenant did there is because he's gonna have to walk back to Pod now, and with only one way to get into Pod, it's a little rough. But at the same time, the trade-off is you get to clear them both. Actually, no, you can't. He has no hammer. Never mind. So yeah, for that reason, I kind of don't like Revenant making that play, just because it's going to cost him a lot of time to walk back to Pod if he chooses to. But overall, it makes sense to go pick up the bow.
Yeah, and it is worth noting, I don't believe either team has touched the touched Eastern at all, so there are more checks there than you would normally expect.
Yeah, between Eastern and Pod, you get 7 to 8 checks. Meanwhile, I wonder if Qirn is... Okay, yeah, Qirn's going to check the first chest of Swamp as well. I think we're getting to the point where I think Eastern or Pod has to have something. Because we're running out of checks. We have no access to Eastern Death Mountain. We don't have a hammer for access to certain areas. We don't have a flute to get to the mire area. We could go into desert, I suppose, with that book, but without a fire source, it's not very pretty.
To answer a question in chat, the book was on the ledge, the bumper ledge, I believe.
No, the book was in Hype Cave.
Hype Cave, okay. Thank you.
So Werf is going towards Pod, and so is Revenant. So both Werf and Revenant are going to converge at Pod. Early on, I feel like Werf and Revenant have routed a little nicer so far. I feel like they've done more checks overall, but it's still early, so we'll see what Qirn and Marcnificent can do.
Yeah, I think the big checks that Old Swagga Jackson have done that Did You Check Your Boot hasn't is Marcnificent's trip up Death Mountain, which unfortunately did nothing.
Oh, there's the hook shot in the back of Saharsala's hut, which apparently we have not checked either. Okay, so that opens up a... Well, actually, no, that does not open up Death Mountain yet because we don't have logical access. I mean, we could go up Death Mountain. That is definitely an option, but it's not logical yet. For those of you watching in chat, we've got Walther and Tam also watching along, and they're cheering or getting nervous. I think Walther might be getting a little nervous based on that last emote of his. It looks like Qirn is going to join... Well, Qirn's heading to the east side. We'll see if he joins them in Pod or not. Tam is lamenting their lack of a boot to check. I think I heard yesterday boots with their go mode in their seed, so yeah, it's got to feel bad when they don't get their team namesake item. Mark has taken on Blind a little more armed than Revenant was when he took it on.
Mark got a little off script there at the end, but handled it very nicely.
And that is the second dungeon done from Mark. So far, Eastern's looked pretty empty. So is Pod, but Pod always is empty in the front. You gotta get to the back for the real fun.
Yeah, meanwhile, Qirn is going to the eastern pod area, so probably going to find that hook shot really quickly and then start doing those dungeons.
I don't know if Qirn grabbed a potion, but we do know that Pod is not bow locked. So there's only a couple more logical checks here in Pod. This chest and the chest south. Hammer in Pod.
And that is big because that means as long as they're comfortable with the dark room, werfjig and Revenant can go ahead and complete both these dungeons while they're here.
Yep, absolutely. But Qirn is going to find that hammer in Pod very shortly, too. Though he'll be a little mad because Mark is about to tell him where the bow is.
Yeah, absolutely. And welcome to our friends, the big raiding party from SpeedGaming 3. Welcome, everybody. This is Link to the Past Randomizer League. This is a co-op info share all dungeons team game between Did You Check Your Boot and Old Swagga Jackson.
We've got Worf in the dark room trying to find these chests. Revenant's on his way to Armos. Mark checking the waterfall on his way to Zora. Qirn starting his pod exploration. For this dark room in Pod, I know a lot of runners like to do the hammer jump here just because this maze is easier to explore from the back. Nicely done Armos fight for Revenant. And Worf is not going to complete Pod. I didn't count items. There might not be anything on Helmasaur. Might also just not feel comfortable with that dark room and decide to come back later.
Yeah, and there's definitely no shame in that. This is a rough equipment set for that full dark room. Especially since with Revenant having just done all of Eastern and found there's nothing key there, werfjig might just say, you know what, I can easily come back later.
Okay, chat does say there is an item on Helmasaur. But yeah, if you don't feel comfortable with those rooms, that's a huge time loss if you die in there. So I don't blame him for leaving. Not to mention, you just got the hammer, you just got the hook shots. You've got a lot of checks on Death Mountain you can do right now.
Qirn showing us a mimic clip with the menu. Interesting.
I've got a lot of the Misery Mire division showing up here and watching along today. I see Moogle Charm, one of the Mire teams. I saw Act the Bilker in earlier. Of course, Walter and Tam are here, rooting on their teammates. Mire division is interesting early. We've got two teams at the top at 2-0. Then we got another two at 1-1, another two at 0-2. And then depending on this race here, we could have three teams tied at 2-0, or we could have a four-way tie at 1-1.
And Qirn does finish off that mimic clip. Very nice.
Actually, just got a second here. Just looking through all of these divisions so far this in week 1, you just can see how competitive the Invitational League is. I think entering today, there's still of the 32 teams, only 10 are undefeated, and it could be as few as 7 by the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And then even if you look further down, drill down into the actual times, a lot of the times, like the one between these two teams yesterday, you're seeing differences of a minute, 2 minutes among, 4 different runners, and they're all within a couple minutes of each other.
So we've got Worf doing his exploration. 5 checks coming up here in Mini Moldorm. There's the flutes and bombos. So Lamp was our logical progression to get up here, which isn't insignificant at this point, because as we mentioned earlier, the fire rod could be very elusive in this scene, and that lamp you might have to find that.
Yeah, meanwhile, on Revenant's side, going to show us the item on Helma that we believe is there, that we haven't yet seen.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Qirn's going to do the jump here, do the Dark Maze from reverse, which a lot of runners find easier. Nothing super bunny. Worf also did pick up red mail up here.
I like the strategy there. That was very nice use of ether.
Yeah, Revenant had a very good start to this turtle room. He got 4 turtles right away, and he's looking. I think he got the 5th. He's looking for the last one right now. Well, we do get confirmation that Ether Medallion is required, as that is the entrance to Turtle Rock. Now here's a spot where Old Swagger could make up some time. Qirn is going to go for Swamp, which, based on item locations, is fully in logic.
And a nice call there to use the blue cane as well to go through that room super quick and not have to worry about the turtles.
Now, one thing that also is interesting is that a play into Turtle Rock could happen. We've got the equipment to get in the. Oh no! Revenant takes a death on Helmasaur. That is rough. Yeah, he quits out.
Yeah, that's a rough death, and that quitting out like that, definitely probably the good call. Just, come back when you have better equipment, when it's in logic, all that.
Yeah, that is a tough one to take. That's a lot. That's like just a lot of lost time on its own. Question in chat: if Lamp can be in Swamp? It can be, because every item to get into Swamp is in logic. The hammer was not lamp locked. The hook shots, flippers, and mirror were all in overworld spots. I believe in the light worlds.
Flippers were in C-shaped house, but with both gloves and Pearl and Cac, that was in logic as well.
Okay, good correction there. Worf is pulling out the hammer for some hammer strats on Moldorm. Gets Moldorm down. That's Worf's first crystal. Got Revenant joining Qirn in Swamp.
Marcnificent giving us our first look at the magic bat, which was unfortunately nothing.
We've got a fetch quest on the Ether tablet. There's a mushroom there. Unfortunately, Worf cannot get that because you need a Master Sword. Answer your question, I don't think Worf did Spiral Cave. I think he went from Paradox to Super Bunny and Hookshot, and then went to Hera. So no, he has not done Spiral Cave. Looks like I got a left side swamp check coming up on Qirn's side.
Yeah, thus far, Qirn's, we'll see what this chest is. There you go, there's Boots, and that was the only item he's found thus far that's actually worth anything, but that's definitely a big find.
And Revenant's about to find those as well. Worf with that flute is activating it. He's got access to the mire area. Interesting. Qirn not going for the diver down here. Okay. Chat pointing out he only has a heart and a half. So you might just only be familiar with the bomb setup.
And unfortunately, the compass and then having to go back for that big key.
I think Revenant told Worf where the boots are, and Worf is going straight for Swamp. And there's a second sword in Swamp.
Yeah, that's worth your time to go back for.
Especially with the Cold Stare fight, or not Cold Stare, Argus fight. Why is my mind on Cold Stare?
Always thinking about the worst boss in the game.
I mean, honestly, with Tempered Sword and NMG strats, Cold Stare is actually... There's Lamp! But yeah, with NMG strats, Cold Stare is actually not too bad. But, okay, so that's a logically a double dip required pod then, because you had to go into pod to get the hammer to get the lamp out of Swamp. So that is 3 good items out of Swamp. And with that Master Sword, Qirn can grab 2 puffs at a time and spin. So, chat talking about go mode. Interestingly enough, we need to see what the Meyer medallion is first. But assuming the Meyer medallion is not Quake, Chad is correct in that the two rods we're looking for can be in GT.
Yeah, though it is worth noting that Old Swagga Jackson, I believe, does not have that flute yet, so from their perspective, they still need that item that they don't know about, but Boot does.
Yeah, Boot has a lot more information, but Old Swagga Jackson has a bit of an advantage on dungeon clearing. Actually, I guess it's not much, as Revenant's about to clear his third as well. And, oh, okay, Qirn's going to go into deserts via the book route, which makes sense from his perspective. Yeah, I still feel like Boot has the advantage here, and it's grown a little bit. Just because they know where more items are.
I agree, and I think it's also worth noting that of the dungeons that aren't listed yet, basically we haven't seen Ice Palace, Meyer, or TR, but both teams combined have gone through at least most of those dungeons, so they will at least be able to communicate where stuff is to their partner who hasn't finished it yet.
Tam on Boot's side, though, points out that Revenant didn't go back to check the big chest, so he didn't get that sword upgrade, which isn't insignificant at this point. We still, at minimum, need 2 swords to kill Ganon, and depending on where silver arrows are and the other swords are, that could end up being a big thing. So right now, we really just need to get that Meyer check. But the only person who can do that at this point is werfjig, who's currently finishing up Swamp. Oh, there's our third sword. And Werf's not picking up that big key, so did you check your Boot is decided to just leave the big chest behind. Which is, overall, it's not the worst thing in the world to miss that sword, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's not gonna kill them overall. It's a little less offense for them.
Yeah, and there is still quite a bit of game left to play, so that little bit of extra damage adds up.
Yeah, the difference between Tempered and Master is massive. So it partially comes down to where the 4th sword is. At least the 3rd sword is easy to find. Now, Revenant is going to climb Death Mountain to get his flutes. He has the option to dip into Turtle Rock if he wants to. Without Fire Rod, you can't get too far, unless the key layout is very friendly. But it is an option.
Yeah, meanwhile, on Marcnificent's side, gonna have to watch his health a little bit here, but
yeah, he's out
might
of arrows.
be able to show us the last item here.
He's gonna try to use the sword to extend the hammer hitbox, and down goes Helmasaur. The long-awaited Helma item was 3 bombs.
Yeah, so that unfortunate death earlier is not going to end up hurting Did You Check Your Boot all that much, not leaving something valuable there.
Revenant just grabbed that flute and left. We also grabbed the blue mail, but yeah. Right now, the big thing we need to find out is what that fire medallion is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see one of either werfjig or Revenant check that pretty quick, because that also gets you the checks for Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave.
And we're getting it from Werf right now. Alright, here's our Mire check. Never mind, it's not quite yet. We're gonna see what's in Mire first. Or what's in the Mire Shed first.
And it's a whole lot of nothing.
Alright. Werf, you can give us a look at that? Okay, it's Bombos.
Which it is worth noting Werf does have.
He does. He does have the ability to clear Mire. So we're in GT mode, basically, at this point. We have every item needed to access GT. But we don't have every item to complete the game yet. I should say that we know where all the items are, not necessarily have them. Actually, I think Revenant does have every item needed to get to GT. But he's gonna make the plane to Ice Palace.
Which I think I like that play, because that is something, you know, you need to do it eventually. It's 3 items. And if you do happen to find the rods here, if it's a stacked Ice Palace, that can really, you know, save you a mountain trip or something later by doing TR at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I like the play overall, because as you said, you can full clear it. And with Samari, you can do it a little faster. The big thing for Old Swagger Jackson, they just need to make that next climb up Death Mountain. I'm wondering if they're holding on it a little bit because Mark already made that initial scouts. That's the big difference right now, is the knowledge of the flutes. And we see Revenant hit the switch. He's setting up for the Icebreaker. Now, with if you're expecting the full clear Ice Palace, you don't necessarily need to do that, but you can. It can save a little time. Oh, that was a nice, sweet Icebreaker there.
Yeah, meanwhile, on Marcnificent's side, showing us the diver down we've seen a couple times.
So far, I don't think we're still going through. I haven't seen anything important yet. We're taking on land molas, using some bow and sword strats.
Yeah, Mark having some unfortunate trouble here with the diver down. Oh, and that hurts just having to bail like that.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't just continue through and get the boots at least. I mean, I understand, you know, getting frustrated there, but you can, you could have gone through, got the boots, and then come back in. Or actually, it would have been really clunky, but yes, he could have done it. Yeah, the boots were on left side swamp, so he could have continued through the left side, grabbed the boots, then mirrored out, come back in, grab the key, and gone to the back. I think that was just frustration more than anything. He probably wasn't even thinking about it. And that's understandable. In these situations, you just get frustrated, and you kind of just do the first thing that comes to your mind versus the logical thing.
Yeah, or thinking that, you know I need to reset it by leaving entirely, and then just going ahead and doing that. Nice blind fight there by Qirn.
Answer question: yes, the boots are in the big key chest. Oh, Revenant. Oh man, he has had some rough boss fights. Those puffs just got away from him, and they zoomed in on him. Oh, that hurts.
That does hurt, but I'm blaming you. You were the one who said cold stare. Cold stare was handleable earlier.
I said he's handleable with a tempered sword. I mean, fighter sword is not ideal at all. But yeah, okay, I'll take some blame for it because I did say that cold stare isn't that bad of a fight. But yeah. That's like, I think on the did you check your boot side? That's probably the one unfortunate thing on their side is Revenant taking those 2 boss deaths. That's put them back a bit. Yeah, their teammates hammering it up. They missed that sword and swamp, and that's definitely hurt them. And as Old Swagger Jackson holds that tempered knowledge, that's gonna give him some. It's going to give him an advantage going forward. Chad asking about Ped. We can already say Ped's dead. We have everything needed for GT. And obviously pendant dungeon items can't be on Ped. So let's just go ahead and say it's dead.
Looks like Qirn is heading up here to Death Mountain, so they'll be getting that flute knowledge pretty soon. And that is probably going to feel kind of bad, knowing that it's been up here and available for a long time.
Yeah. Werf used a potion. I don't know if he knew about the magic refill. Or no, he might have run out of magic in the torch room. That might have been why he did that. Actually, I'm not sure. Qirn is going to get that mushroom, which is still pending. That could lead to one of the rods we need. And he gets dead rocked.
Yeah, I did Bootside check the Ped while they were up there?
They did.
Okay.
They have the knowledge. It's the mushroom, but they didn't have a Master Sword to get it.
Yeah, so if they end up deciding to check that, of course, they'll put it off till they can combo it in with something. Whether GT or Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
More likely GT, of course.
We did see an item in the cutscene chest in Meyer, but it was just 10 bombs. And Qirn trying to set up the Herapot. Trying to set up another little glitch here, or we're trying to set up a glitch here to get through that railing. There he goes. I don't know if that one has an official name. Qirn takes down Moldorm. Revenant's grabbing that. Okay, Revenant's going to be the first to actually check this mushroom. It's an interesting call just to come up here for that mushroom.
Yeah, meanwhile, Marcnificent continuing to go through Swamp, very nice. And that mushroom ends up being dead, unfortunately.
Now, here we got Spiral Cave. I don't think this has been checked. I think Werf and Revenant both skipped this.
Yeah, meanwhile, real quick, just as an update, since we're about an hour in, you're watching here on the SpeedGaming family of networks. My name is Arusta, and my co-commentator today is JP.
I'm sorry. Qirn found Fire Rod in Spiral Cave.
And that fire rod is a very, very big deal for old Swagga Jackson, who, as you can see from the 3-0 score, won their first game this week in week 1 of the season.
Yeah, you can't overstate how big that fire rod is. And it's kind of isolated for Did You Check Your Boot now. I don't know how they route that in. And you can just see in their teammates just how Tam is a little deflated now and Walter is excited.
Yeah, I feel like the only way you could possibly route that in is if you do it when you go up here for Ganon's tower. But even then, if you go up for the tower, you're probably going to think, hey, I'm here for the 22 items.
It's not the end of the world just yet. But yeah, I mean, if they go into GT before checking Spiral, they're going to start to lose time. You know, Werf has Meyer done. Looking at our dungeon counts, we got Mark with 5 dungeons done. Qirn with 3. We got Revenant with 3 and Werf with 4. Let's see if Qirn... Oh, Qirn has not been into... Oh, yes. Never mind. So, this is an interesting... Oh, there's our 4th sword. Okay, that's good for... Did you check your boots? They'll have tempered.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an excellent spot for it, because it means they're going to be able to get that very easily, just whenever they want it.
Yeah, and even if Old Swagger Jackson finds that, the difference between tempered and gold isn't as big. Now, here's the question I got for Qirn. Will he dip Turtle Rock? If he dips Turtle Rock and doesn't find... And he doesn't find the ice rod, that's time loss.
But it is worth noting if he finds ice rods, so both rods are up here in Death Mountain, that is a huge, huge thing for their team. Yeah, and I do think Qirn actually has flute. It's just the tracker probably ate the inputs.
And Qirn is going to dip into Turtle Rock. And I think we're seeing the rush dungeons on Did You Check Your Boot side. They've been focusing those crystal dungeons. So for them, it just comes down to, do they check Spiral Cave before going into GT? Right now, I got a big moment on Qirn's side. If Ice Rod's in here, then Old Swagger Jackson's in full go mode.
Yeah, though it is worth noting that Marcnificent, I believe, has not done Mire and Desert, so even if they find Ice Rod in here, he could do TR, but he'd still need to come back for Ganon's Tower.
Mark's gonna go pick up that fire rod as well. Mark is in a position where he could be the first into GT. He only has 2 more crystal dungeons to finish.
Nate, Chain Chomp is not being nice to Qirn right now.
Yeah, he just finally just says forget it and he uses Burna.
Yeah, I like the play here by Marcnificent to get the flute and then get the flute quickly and then immediately go activate it. Probably go check Meyer right away so they know whether they need more medallions and also get the quick checks in that area.
Werf is done in pod. Revenant's on his way to Vidi. As always, it comes down to the ice rod.
Always the meme hunt.
And it's a little worse in this mode because that hunt is a little bigger. Mark will be the first runners with the gold sword. We'll see if Qirn decides to pick that up later. We know Did You Check Your Boot will not check for that.
Yeah, but on Did You Check Your Boot side, Revenant's very close to getting his GT access, and werfjig probably won't be very far behind either.
Yeah. Revenant's just got a quick clear desert and then has to climb for Hera, which with a Hera pot is really fast. There's a useless Quake medallion. So it comes down to Laser Bridge for Qirn. He's taking some damage, but he's going to use his green potion most likely and then use Burna to get through the Laser Bridge if he needs to. Alright, Laser Bridge is Compass. 20 rupees. Little delay while we're waiting for the last 2. Small key. He's down to half a heart. He's gonna take safety.
Frankly, given that, you know, you could potentially save the portal there depending on how you route this, if you get lucky, that just makes sense. Even if it is just a map.
Not in Turtle Rock. That is good news for werfjig and Revenant right now. Because that is sunk time for Qirn.
werfjig going to show us off the red bomb check, which we haven't seen yet.
As
2
you were
items.
as you were mentioning saving the portal, that's exactly what Qirn's going to do. And Revenant is heading up the mountain. Here's the question. Will Revenant check Spiral Cave?
I mean, if you're a fan of Did You Check Your Boot, the answer is hopefully yes, but at this point, you know, you could say that with the amount of stuff they have to check, oh, looks like he might be.
He's got to go this way anyway. We'll see. But I mean, looking at how Worf is checking overworld spots still, he might. Let's see. Does he go right or left? He's going right. He's leaving Spiral Cave behind. But Worf is gonna check Hyrule Castle. They probably haven't checked the front. Or is Worf gonna dip into he's dipping Turtle Rock. Now the good news for Revenant is he's not gonna get far. I believe the first chest did not have a key. So
Yeah,
he's
the
gonna be
first
out here.
chest was like a heart or something.
He's not rushing GT. Or he is.
Meanwhile, old
Yeah.
Swagga Jackson picking up their bow on Qirn's side there.
Yeah, Revenant is rushing GT. I think Worf is just trying to... He's basically just trying to clean stuff up as he goes. Has Worf cleared Eastern? I think he did. Now, chat talking about GT logic. If the big key's on the right side of GT, that could be good for boot as well, because it would tell them some info about the fire rod. That's 7 crystals. We probably should start our game quick. Because, yeah, Revenant's about to go into GT. 22 chests. Now, the thing is, Revenant cannot check all 22. But still, we're looking for 2 items. We're looking for the GT Big Key. We're looking for the Ice Rod.
And it is worth noting that the Ice Rod can be in the GT Big Key chest. Or, excuse me, the big chest itself, which is a check you don't normally see, but it could be there in this mode.
Alright, here we go. Small key. Small key.
Just to call out on Swagga Jackson's side, Marcnificent had a very nice fight there.
Third check was just rupees. Like if you're, like I said, if you check your boot, you want that big key on the right side in the compass room. There's the Ice Rod. And there's some silver arrows to boot.
Which probably means that all the runners are going to end up getting it, because if you're going to go into that room, you almost certainly at least pick those up.
Yes, chat's right. We are in no mode, but nobody's in go mode yet. I think we are at 8 for checks for the GT Big Key.
Correct. With this routing, this is the one that you hookshot over to in the next room is number 9.
There's check 9. Got 10 to 13 coming. Got bombs, heart container, bombs, and the net. There's only 5 chests left that he can check. Bob's chest, 3 behind Ice Armos, and Tile Room. Yeah, I can kind of echo what Tam says here with this being worse than actually being in the race. It is nervous being the teammate watching this. You know, not being able to do anything to help your teammates. Not Bob's chest. We got 4 left. And while Worf has Thieves Town down, and Mark is heading towards GT as well.
Yeah. Mark is heading towards GT, and Qirn is finishing off pods, so I would guess Qirn might follow him up there, especially if Mark goes full left and gets his ice rod.
This is good for... did you check your boot potentially? There's only 1 spot left for it to be. If it is in Tile Room, then we're going to see Revenant climb. But if it's not in Tile Room, they're going to know the Fire Rod's not in GT.
And especially with where he's at, the very first thing he does, presuming they remember they missed it, is just go east and pick up Spiral Cave since they're right there.
Yeah, I think at this point, Worf is going to Cold Stare. If Cold Stare is an item, they want to check it. It's a right side GT. So Revenant might try to bomb jump here, but at this point, did you check your boot? Knows. It's the Fire Rod is not in GT.
Maybe looks like Revenant's probably just picking up the big key while he's here so he can save himself some time later.
I mean, if you're confident in this jump, sure, but you need the Fire Rod regardless. Yeah, actually, I kind of think you should just leave at this point. I mean, he's got the jump. I mean, chat's saying it's more efficient to climb now. Kind of, but you got to come back up here for the fire. I mean, they don't know they have to come back up here for Fire Rod. I mean, if the big brain play right now would be after you get this big key to mirror out and go check Spiral Cave.
And that was number 19, by the way.
He's climbing. Did you check your boot just written off Spiral Cave?
Oof, that's rough. Hopefully it's at least an active decision and not just that they somehow forgot it. Also, shout outs to M4A2000 as the winner of the Gannon's Tower Big Key guessing game today. Guessed 17 and the correct number was 19, but was closer than anybody else, so congratulations.
Yeah, there's not a lot left they can check. As Mark is the first one into go mode.
Yeah, and it is worth noting, Mark managed to find both the ice rod and the big key in there. So when Qirn goes up there, Qirn will have a very easy time through GT.
So, did you check your boot to be still alive in this? They basically need to go to Spiral Cave right now. I think.
Yeah, one of their teammates in chat, Tam, is mentioning this, and I'm actually not sure what they still have to check outside of Spiral Cave. They've been fairly thorough this run, and they've split up all their dungeons that they can do right now.
I'm actually trying to look on Qirn's side. Did Qirn clear pod? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I believe this is Qirn's last dungeon here.
It was the last crystal dungeon, yeah.
Yeah, last crystal, excuse me.
Orf's not going to dip into... Actually, no. Revenant never did go into Turtle Rock. Yeah, he's heading towards Turtle Rock. He's going to dip into the first chest of Turtle Rock.
I mean, the one nice thing, though, is that the first chest of Turtle Rock does not have a key, so we won't be able to get very far.
Well, he's going left. He's running right by it. Okay, Chad's saying he's gonna get his ice rod. He's just they might have just assumed that they've checked Spiral.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking that the fire rod's got to be in there, so he wants his ice rod first so he can clear it out.
Yeah, you saw Revenant. He just skipped those chests. They know it's not upstairs GT.
Yeah, and they basically know. I mean, they have basically every safety they could want except half magic, so there's not even a point in checking him just for safety's sake.
Yep, there's Ice Rod. And there's the silvers.
Over on Swagga Jackson's side, Qirn showing off the very nice spin strats there. If you take the damage from the goo rather than the eyeballs, it makes you like take less damage, and you can get off a nice spin and do a bunch of damage to the eyes at once.
Runs right by Spiral Cave again. He's gonna get kicked out of here quick. Does he remember Spiral after this? That's it. He can't go any further. Does he go left? He's running to the left.
Meanwhile, Qirn's finishing off Meyer, so can go up here.
Qirn has saved his portal this entire time. He's floating away. He doesn't know.
That bouncing around, werfjig is probably asking the same question right now of where have I not checked? Because I think the only other place that they skipped was the Swamp Palace Big Chest, which we know isn't an option, but if they remember it, you would expect them to at least check that.
Yeah, if you were in their call at this point, you'd probably hear them panicking. And maybe they're thinking Dark Cross. Oh, he was going to do... So Chad was saying he was going to do Aga while they were thinking. But I think he might have remembered something. And they're going back over to Desert. Just checking the ledge.
Yeah, this is one of those unfortunate situations that
There he is, going back to one.
Everybody's been in, and it always feels awful.
One of our trackers mentioned that he listened in on their stream, and he just mentioned Spiral Cave. But this might be too late. I don't know. With dungeon completion, it's hard to say right now. I mean, Revenant hasn't been wasting much time, at least. He's been doing stuff that's required, so he's not lost time. But he still has 3 dungeons to go back and finish. Werfjig will have 2, plus GT, plus Aga. Qirn is gonna have 3. They might. This is too close to call.
Yeah, so here's where they finally get it. And it's good they remembered that.
I don't know. I feel like Qirn and Mark have the advantage now, but it's really close to call.
It is really close to call, and the one thing that'll be nice here is that Werfjig, since he already knows he's in Go mode, will do the Go mode TR as much as Go mode TR is a thing. And then Revenant has already cleared, he's already going to have the information for Ice Palace, so Revenant will have a very quick Ice Palace. But it's really anybody's game at this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's so unfortunate that, they kind of just wrote Spiral Cave off for as long as they did. But at the same time, he got locked. Revenant got locked by that dead rock. But at the same time, this could still go either way. I really don't know. Like, Qirn's got 2 dungeons, the Aga climb and the Ganon's tower climb. Mark has still got to go through and finish this up. He's got 2 dungeons plus the Aga tower climb. Werf's got 2 dungeons, Aga and Ganon. Revenant's basically just 3 dungeons at this point. I don't know. We have to see.
Yeah, and it does look like out of everybody, looks like Revenant will almost certainly finish first, but because he's already got his Aga time and his Ganon's tower climb done. But after that, who knows?
Yeah, just looking back to some of this race, I mean, for the longest time, Werf and Revenant had a good advantage. I mean, the worst for Werf or for Revenant was he took a couple boss deaths, which I'm sure he's also kind of mad about right now too. Ooh,
Marcnificent taking an Unfortunate fall there to Moldorm. Meanwhile, chat pointing out that Qirn did save his portal to TR and then went straight to Ganon's tower, and he'd saved his portal pretty much this entire time. So we'll see if after he finishes this, if he does Aga, then he'll have... Apparently, you can Ganon Houlihan to get back to Light World if you do Aga after this. And that's pretty much the only way.
Did Qirn? I thought Qirn did Turtle Rock. Did he not? Actually, no, thinking about it, I think that's what Chad was talking about. He hasn't done Turtle Rock yet.
No, he had his portal that he saved all the way since he did Laser Bridge.
Okay, so I think I get what Chat was talking about, was that there was no awkward way for him to get back to that port, or there was no good way for him to get back to that portal. So I think, yeah, this race is even closer than I thought.
Yeah, though apparently, shoutouts to Trinex and chat, apparently you can Ganon hole through the Houlihan if you do Aga first, and then that puts you back in the Light World and you can flute from there.
That is...
that would be some wild game knowledge to show off.
But that would also be the kind of knowledge that Qirn would know. Qirn has some crazy knowledge on this game. I mean, there's a reason there's one glitch in this game that's named after him, the Qirn jump.
Meanwhile, Marcnificent had a very nice Aga 2 fight and going to go basically finish up the rest of his dungeons here.
All right, Werf's found the key, so Boot has all the info they need. Man, this is what you love to see in a race that at this point we just can't call. We have no idea which side has the advantage. I look at chat and it's like everybody in chat seems to have different opinions on either who has the advantage or if this is close. Oh, okay. So what? Yeah, he's gonna. So Qirn is gonna die on Ganon to get his portal. Or maybe not. I
think you need to die in the overworld in order to do that.
Oh yeah, because dying at Ganon puts you right back at the top of the pyramid. And yeah, Qirn, I don't. I think you might just want to go back up and take it. You're kind of losing some time here. At some point, you just have to give up and just accept that you need to go and do your dungeons.
Oh, apparently, looks like he was trying to do the Ganon Houlihan, but clearly just dying was apparently the faster way. Looked like, according to Trinex in chat, looks like the camera was messed up in the wrong way. But this does get him where he needs to go.
I mean, saving the portal here is a good move, but sometimes you get a little too obsessive with it. Alright, Mark's got Aga 1 down. He just needs to go clear Skullwoods and Ice Palace. Werf
Yeah.
has... Yeah.
Meanwhile, Revenant finishing off TR. Revenant has 2 dungeons to go.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning that we did have a tie in the first race for this, but just a tie between 2 runners, not a tie overall.
Yeah, Mark and Revenant are basically at the exact same spot right now. Mark being whatever, 1 or 2 rooms ahead here.
So Revenant, he's already been in Ice Palace. He just needs to rush Cold Stare at this point. Qirn taking down... There's first phase of Trianex. He's still got his second phase to go. Man. This really could go any way. I don't know what way this is going to go. Don't need to go back and hit the switch Revenant.
Fortunately, Mark did the same thing, so it at least isn't going to cost him relatively.
Yeah, I think Worf did clear Turtle Rock, right?
Yeah, he did. I think it's just Tracker eating inputs or whatever. Oh, Tracker saying no, he did not. Interesting. I would have expected him to do that before coming up this climb.
Yeah, I thought he did because he went back there. He and Revenant were in there about the same time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did it. At this point in the stream, sometimes you just probably don't think to track.
Revenant very nicely going through Ice Palace here.
Unfortunately, since we have Quick Swap enabled, it's hard to wait for a menu to confirm these things. And yeah, like I said, with Tempered Sword, this fight is much easier. With Gold Sword, it's really easy. And I was really hoping Mark didn't die there to try to prove me wrong.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that Revenant did a very nice job there in Ice Palace. As we mentioned, he actually entered there and was about 2 rooms behind Mark when they first entered, and then actually made up and finished first. So some very nice execution.
So what we've got left on this for everybody. After Worf finishes this, he's got Swamp Palace and Aga 1. Revenant has Swamp Palace left at this point. Mark also just has Swamp Palace. Qirn has to finish Ice, and he has to do Skullwoods. Why was I saying Swamp Palace?
I was going to wait till the end to correct you. You're going.
Okay, so yeah, correct Skullwoods with all that, but Qirn will have to do Ice Palace, then Skullwoods, and then Aga as well. Alright. Werf is climbing Aga Tower. Which... Yeah, Qirn has not done Aga 1. After Aga 2, he tried his Ganon Houlihan and then left.
Yeah, the biggest difference in this race right now, Revenant and Mark are very close together, but Qirn is a little further behind werfjig just because the way it's worked out.
Yeah, I think this is going to come down to us having to look at the averages at the very end. I think werfjig came up here. He didn't do Skull Woods yet, though. Which is
no,
fine.
werfjig and Qirn both have to do Skull Woods. But werfjig is also going to basically finish off Aga Tower in the next minute or so here.
I mean, it's fine. Werf finishes up Aga Tower. He goes to do Skull Woods, and then
Meanwhile, Revenant in their Ganon fight here.
So yeah, Revenant and Marcnificent. Mark's got an easy Ganon fight with that gold sword. Revenant's a little tougher with Tempered, but if you can do the 1-in-1, it doesn't matter. So we've got Mark. He's already on phase 3. Up there we go. We got the other runners back.
Yeah, it looks like Revenant is on phase 3. Looks like Revenant fell a little behind in this just due to the sword difference.
Both runners are on 1 heart. They got to be a little careful, but they are past the worst of the fights. Mark will be first done.
Get your GGs in chat. Mark finishing with an official SRL time, or excuse me, race time GG time of 1:38.04 in first place.
Revenant's losing some time on this fight. He's got Ganon down, be right behind. Werf's heading to Skull Woods. Qirn still has the Aga climb. This could go any way.
Hi there.
Oh, hi. We're gonna probably wait to bring you in until your teammates are done. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, we're finished. Sorry about that. We had a racer just coming quick, but yeah, we're gonna wait to bring in the racers until after this is done because we've got Werf and Qirn in a huge in a race off right now. This could go either way. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, basically, let's look at the first 2 times. So yeah, Mark at 138.04, Revenant at 138.31. So essentially, right now, that's a 27-second difference between the first 2 runners. So, for Did You Check Your Boot to win, they'll need... Werf will have to beat Qirn by about at least those 27 seconds.
Yeah, and Werf is about to get his...
Oh, he got wall mastered!
That is going to make this a lot closer, because I was going to say Werf is a little ahead in the dungeon he's doing right now, but that's closing the gap right there.
And he has no magic! Does he have a potion? He does. Of course, we get these little bits of delay here and there, so... Oh, that was accidental by Qirn. That'll cost him a second. Alright, we got Werf back. He's on the Mothula fight. Mothula's down. Werf is gonna get to Ganon first. Remember, he's got to be Qirn by about 27 seconds for their team to win. So even though Werf's going to get into this fight first, Qirn still has some time. And if what we heard in chat was right, this is a 0 blue ball Aga. Werf is in the Ganon fight. Qirn is doing Aga 1.
Werf getting the very nice spin off the sword there to get that phase down in one cycle. Very nice.
That is a 1 cycle phase 1. Can he get the 1 cycle phase 2? Ooh, that... I don't know if he had enough hits. He didn't. This is going to be a 2 cycle phase 2. Werf's on to phase 3. Qirn has Aga 1 down. Remember, Werf has to win by at least 27 seconds over Qirn.
Man, when Ganon does all these teleports when you're in a tight race, it just feels so bad, even though you know your opponent has the same RNG.
Oh, and Chad points out a good thing, that Qirn, because he died on Ganon technically, will get different warps. Alright, the floor is going down for Qirn.
There's fourth arrow to work, Jid.
Werf has Ganon down. We need to see what Qirn finishes, though.
Okay, get your GGs in. Werf's official time, 1:43:24.
And we have to wait on Qirn now. We're literally waiting on Qirn now.
And Qirn's stream really wants us to feel the agony of suspense here.
Well, there's the sword up. Is it enough? We'll give you Qirn's final time in just a second. All right, look, I think we'll give you the final time now. Qirn's final time, 1:44:06. The averages. Did you check your boots? 1:40:58. Old Swagger Jackson, 1:41:05. Did you check your boots? Wins by an average of 7 seconds.
So we are going to see if we can get some of the runners in here for an interview.
Yeah, oh man, that was such a close race. The difference between Werf and Qirn ended up being 42 seconds. And was it the 27-second difference between the other two? That was enough. Did you check your boot? Pulls it out. I think we can bring our runners in. We got 3 of them in chat. I don't know if we'll get all 4, but we'll see.
Okay, and it looks like we are joined by our runners, all 4 of our runners. So first up, GG's to Did You Check Your Boot?
GG.
GG's.
GG's. GG. Doctor.
And GG to Old Swagger Jackson as well.
Thank you. Was it? Was it though?
Very interested to see how it looked on the restream because I did not feel confident that race.
Yeah. Same here. I thought the routing we did was not bad. It was just our execution of this race that we felt really bad about. Qirn.
Yeah, you know, literally the most important part of the game we failed at.
Just small things we forgot about and or
Yeah,
didn't take into account. Yeah.
So when you guys watch the restream, you'll see. But so basically, werfjig and Revenant had a nice lead in dungeons, but did not check Spiral Cave the first couple times they were on Death Mountain, and so left that fire rod there for quite a while, well beyond when Old Swagger Jackson picked it up. So would you mind talking about that a little bit, werfjig and Revenant?
That one's on me, so I'll take it. I got excited because I had the items for Spike Cave, and so at the time when I went to the mountain, and I had that 50-50 whether I wanted to do Spike Cave or Spiral Cave, I did Spike Cave, saw it was nothing, and then just literally forgot about it. As you probably could have seen, because I was right next to Spiral Cave when I started panicking and then fluted off the mountain. So that was all just, a bad brain moment. It was not strategic in any way.
Did you guys get into Ganon's Tower before?
I
Fire
did.
Rod?
Yeah.
Nice.
I bombed down the right side and did all the climb without it.
Did you end up checking the basement as well, of all of the basement?
Yes, I checked it. Full cleared it.
Oh,
Except for the chest on the climb. I completely skipped those because I knew Fire Rod would not be up there.
yeah, it feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Fire Rod going in there, so we were feeling pretty good routing wise. Like the mistakes we made. I messed up Swamp, and I don't know how to do the diver down yet, so that kind of I lost so much time there, probably 2 minutes there in Swamp. So I just felt super bad about that, but otherwise felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, there were a lot of little mistakes on both sides. Like you did have the mistake in Swamp. Revenant unfortunately took a couple deaths.
Yeah.
That also.
Helmosaur and Cold Stare.
Oof,
And
that feels bad.
He still finished before me. Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, how did I finish before Qirn? He was like, I guess he was doing more of the progression. I guess I could skip a lot of what he was checking, so I caught up rather quickly. But
Well, and you got go mode first, and you didn't lose all that time trying to save
just to
the TR
toss
portal.
out, we just got the official time averages. Shout outs to our tracker Duo. Did you check your boot? 140.58. Old Swagger Jackson 141.05. It's about 8
Right.
seconds difference.
wow,
Dang.
Yikes.
drama.
The difference between getting a Houlihan and not. I said that was my favorite part. Like I was like literally at the end of our race when we lost.
So looking forward, what are you guys looking forward to through the rest of the league? Anything you're particularly excited about running? Let's start with Old Swagga Jackson, if you want to answer first, and then Boot if you want to jump in afterwards.
I guess I'm always excited for cross keys. I like running cross keys. We're doing cross keys, right? I'm not mistaken about that, right?
Actually, we're not doing cross keys this
Okay,
week.
no cross keys. Never mind.
There is a mystery week though. I don't know what the settings are, but it could be there.
I guess there is no cross keys then.
Yeah,
I'm not really. Yeah, I guess
you
open. I mean, there's nothing really other than that. I guess I'd be that excited about. I just
They took away cross keys and they added all dungeon keys.
all dungeon keys. Okay, that's something I actually have to maybe practice because I don't even really practice that much. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. I mean, open. Can I just say open?
I
Open
like
mode next week.
Yeah, you can
Pilot,
certainly say open. It's a very common mode, and the way a lot of people get into randomizer. So sounds like a good choice to me.
There you go.
I think pilot, spoiler is what I'm looking forward to. I really hate blind rando, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think there's an alternate timeline, you guys, where like we all started playing blind or started playing
Okay,
spoiler.
so I guess any final thoughts? Anything else you want to talk about?
Wait,
Floor is yours.
I don't think Arusta can hear me.
And I think Qirn is like muted, unfortunately. So
okay, that's weird
yeah.
because I can hear Qirn
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
can
you
hear
guys
everything.
can't. Because he's been trying to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Arusta can't is the only one.
Yeah, I could.
Oh,
I can
I'm
hear you
sorry.
guys.
I apologize,
That's okay.
Qirn. I cannot hear you at all.
That's all right. I was just saying that there's an alternate timeline wherein I think that we all play spoiler mode, and then we look at blind rando and we're like, man, who would want to do that competitively? So
Yeah.
I'm excited for pilot spoiler.
Yeah, I'm excited for the for in particular the Randomizer week, the co-op Randomizer and the spoiler, just because I get a lot more invested in co-op, just because like I don't care if I win or lose, but I don't want my team to hate me,
I am looking forward to Mystery Week, but I might be gone that week. I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks to go visit family for Thanksgiving, so I won't be able to race those weeks because I don't have internet down there. Or don't have good internet down there.
Oh, I did want to ask about one more thing. Did you check your boots? Swamp Palace Big Chest, was that an intentional skip, or did you not realize there was an item there?
Honestly, forgot about it.
Rev, I thought you checked it.
No, I didn't. I think I mislooked and thought I didn't have the map, so I thought the map would be in the chest. Turns out that was Buttersword.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, was it?
The sword.
Yeah, but actually, if I went to go check that, we actually would have lost. So.
Oh my goodness, Rev.
Well, actually, I couldn't say that at that time because it would have been a sword upgrade that might have saved you on Cold Stare. So, I mean, that could have actually saved you some time overall.
It will save me time on Ganon.
Yeah.
But
I
don't know if it would have been enough time though.
Yeah, that was a miscommunication. Because I guarantee you, if I had known that he skipped it, then I would have gone there before checking Spiral Cave. So, I guess good job not telling me.
Yeah, I mean, I just also to add on, just kind of some extra thoughts here. This just shows how close this league is going to be this season. Like I was mentioning this earlier. Now after this race, we only have 9 out of the 32 teams in the Invitational still unbeaten, and that's just after 1 week. So this league is going to be tough, and every week's going to be tough going from here on out.
For sure. Definitely stiff competition, but I guess that's what makes the matches and the league so intriguing to watch as well.
Anyone can win theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go lick my wounds and practice that Houlihan in the Ganon pit. But GG's, you guys. Well played.
Yep.
Jeez.
GG.
Thanks to all the trackers and commentators. It's fun to be spotlighted like this. For all my mistakes for the world to see.
All right, give GG's to our runners again. Make sure to give them a follow if you enjoyed what their performance for us today. Also, good. Thanks to our trackers, who are Bandman and Duodeca. Looking at the schedule for today. Also before I do that, actually, thanks for Kokam Arusta as well. Yeah, looking at the schedule for today, we've got a match going on the ALTTPR League channel right now. That one is pretty close coming into the end here, so that one's still going on over on the ALTTPR League channel. And then about an hour from now, we've got the last match of Week 1, Komodo Hypers versus Aerith 216. That will finish up the week on Speed Gaming 2. And I think with that, we can wrap up here. Any final thoughts, Arista?
No, just wanted to echo. Thank you everyone for watching. There's only one more invitational match this week for week 1, but then week 2, there's already a bunch of matches on the schedule which are getting set up for comms and restreams. So definitely keep an eye on the schedule. There will be plenty of matches restreamed next week in week 2, probably on the Speed Gaming family of networks, and then maybe some also on the ALTTPR League family of channels as well. So keep an eye on the schedule. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.